Hello. My name is Joseph Jenkins, and I'm the current Director of Royal Communications here in Buckingham Palace. I have a very, very important job. Little do you know, it's me who controls everything. There isn't a single headline about the royal family that doesn't get through me first. That was me. Oh, another story about the cost of living crisis. It's not really making us look good. It's kind of bad for public image. My job used to be a lot more simple with Elizabeth on the throne. Everyone loved her. Everyone accepted her. The nation's grandmother. But now it's different. It feels like every day we have to fight to defend this nation's traditions. Who cares if His Majesty has big fat sausage fingers? He is your king, goddammit. Show some respect. Anyway, I best be back to work. Meghan Markle just tweeted. That's at least another 5 headlines for the Daily Mail.
Okay, let's flash back. September 2022. Queen Elizabeth II, just days after anointing then Prime Minister Liz Truss, succumbs to her ill health and sadly passes away.
Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
The United Kingdom, nay, the world, lost an icon that day.
The Queen died? Oh. Is it true?
Oh no.
I personally paid my respects. I went to Buckingham Palace like thousands of like-minded individuals. I definitely did not play Connect 4 with my friends whilst King Charles allegedly drove past.
Oh. Wait, is it the king?
It's true to say that the Queen was a huge part of British culture while she was alive. She was the queen of people's hearts, you know.
I keep mine in here.
I keep mine in here.
And the thing that really struck people when she died was the fact that she'd always been there.
We'll never see the like of Her Majesty ever again. She's been there for all her lifetime. And now she's not.
The feeling of being born into a world where this lady has always been on the throne is like having a stain on the wall of your childhood home that's always been there, so you just, you don't question it. Oh, that's just a stain, it's a bit of oil or something, no? It's been there for as long as I can remember, honestly. We could probably scrub it off, but, that's a lot of work, isn't it? Do you understand the metaphor? The monarchy is the stain on the wall. Public support for the monarchy has apparently dropped to an all-time low. All whilst the royal family are desperately trying to appeal to Gen Z and stay relevant in an ever-changing world.
What do we call you, by the way? This is what I'm already struggling with. Are we at a stage where we can call you...
Your Royal Highness will do.
Your Royal Highness?
Just to clarify, it's William. I'm joking.
I
just want to see Chris's face.
Guys, don't call me Your Majesty, right? That's too old school. Yeah, call me Will. Yeah, I'm just like you. Oh, and if you need the toilets... could you please use the servant toilet? I could go full video essay mode and do a whole 3-hour response on the aristocracy, the class divide, the economic elite, the apparent divine right of the sovereign. But if you look at the reality of the royal family, they're just all a bunch of weirdos, aren't they? And weirdos are cringe. And that, my friends, is content. Part 1. Tradition. Every other month in this country, you turn the television on and it's a royal event. Whatever they're celebrating, like a coronation, queue for a coffin, or a wedding. And it feels like watching some old people play dress up for a bit. It's a game of, alright everyone, okay, we gotta take this seriously. This is definitely not ridiculous looking. Guys, this is serious. Okay, this is the UK. We're serious people. Okay, I'm gonna lift up this sword. And it doesn't look ridiculous. I don't know how some people can watch this and think, oh yeah, this is normal. This is 100% normal behaviour. It's like the old fable of the emperor not wearing any clothes and his subjects being too loyal and too scared to point it out. But in this case, it's not that the king is naked, it's that, well, he's got really weird fingers. I feel like recently the royal family tried to be at least a little bit more appealing, you know, try and move all that tradition to one side and, you know, get Prince William on a podcast and have a bit of a banter about being a future king. But that's all a distraction away from the reality that this is all actually quite medieval and archaic when you think about it. Sometimes it feels like the royals pretend to be just like charity workers when really they're there because some weird Christian shit, some really weird deep down Church of England madness.
Strengthened with all might, according to his glorious power, unto all patience and long-suffering with joyfulness.
In the TV show The Crown, between all the montages of Diana, there are moments where they explore the Christian traditionalist side of the monarchy. You know, all the stuff about God. We're talking about God on this channel. What? It's fine, you know, I got an A in religious studies at school, so I think I'm qualified to talk about this.
Monarchy is God's sacred mission to grace and dignify the earth, to give ordinary people an ideal to strive towards, an example of nobility and duty to raise them in their wretched lives. Monarchy is a calling from God. That is why you're crowned in an abbey, not a government building. It's an archbishop that puts the crown on your head, not a minister or public servant, which means that you're answerable to God in your duty, not the public.
Strange women lying in ponds, distributing swords is no basis for a system of government.
To believe that you've been divinely chosen by God is a crazy statement to make. If anyone else said that, they'd be institutionalized. It's honestly giving narcissism. Like, the divine right of the sovereign is not a good look. Check your privilege. Maybe it's good to have, you know, an impartial head of state, but when it gets to the point where you're anointing the king using the oh so holy coronation spoon, you know, it starts to feel a bit silly, doesn't it? Although the simplest in the coronation, the spoon's remarkable. Given its history and importance, it is the oldest piece of regalia, likely dating back to the 12th century. I can't help but feel that even the members of the royal family themselves all know that this is a bit of a stretch. Especially if one of those kids has an iPad, you know, with TikTok on it. Just waiting for the day where one of the younger members of the royal family just, you know, they finally say, you know what guys, this is really cringe, like, I'm sorry. I just don't think that being king would be like my vibe right now. So I'm gonna like abdicate and like not be king. I'm gonna like abolish the monarchy because like I'm kind of over it, guys. Apart from the influence of Christianity, the royal family doesn't really try that hard to mask, you know, the other history. The reason that they're so rich and powerful in the first place. Colonialism. A couple of years ago, the country of Barbados did the most iconic thing and just decided, you know what guys, no, Rihanna is our new queen now, okay? And that is extremely valid.
May you continue to shine like a diamond.
Back here though, the royal family are still, you know, clutching to the power of the British Empire, but this time rebranding it as the Commonwealth. There's something about, you know, the Commonwealth that really still, you know, it bothers me. The Empire ended decades ago and he's still here. The Commonwealth, the trinkets, the rituals, it's all a part of this British traditionalism. And this kind of British traditionalism can be met with one of two reactions. Reaction one, sheer embarrassment at the thought of other countries finding out about all this weird stuff that we do and making sure it's clear, guys, I don't really support this. Or reaction two, blind pride of anything English. Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the world. We here in Britain have what is known as a parasocial relationship with the royal family. A one-sided relationship where all the energy goes towards one person that doesn't really know that the other one exists. And that parasocial relationship that we have with the royal family, that could be a classic, you know, kind of peasant king archetype, you know, the archetype of
Your Majesty, oh how nice it is to humble us with your presence. Oh Your Majesty, would you mind if I bonked my head with this massive frying pan? Anything for you, my lord? Oh, oh, oh.
Yes, now kiss my ring, peasant. Or maybe the parasocial relationship that we have with the royal family isn't that different to any other parasocial relationship that we'd have with a celebrity, especially when you bring social media into the equation. Really, what is the true difference between the royal family and any other family made up of public figures, like the Kardashians or the royal family? Are the royal family just social media influencers at this point? Part 2. Public image. One day in 2023, me and a friend decided to go out for a day to Windsor. It was a nice, beautiful day, you know, beautiful weather. It was just, you know, one train ride. And as we headed more into town, the more that we were surrounded by people like this, we eventually caught on to the fact that these people everywhere were a part of the coronation celebration concert that was happening in Windsor Castle later that day. We had no idea that was going to happen. We just decided to go to Windsor by chance. We actually picked the worst day to go there. At one point, actually, we walked past this group of people, like, near a back entrance to the castle, and they were all sat there in, like, camping chairs, you know, waiting out, I don't know, for the king to come out or something. You know, occasionally shouting, "We want to see the king! Bring the king out!" And then a security guard comes up to all of them and says, "Right, ladies and gents, there's no royal family members coming through here, so, yeah, the king's not coming out. I mean, you're just kind of wasting your time, guys." And then they all just deflated and went, "Oh well, it took us ages to get these seats, but I mean, might as well just enjoy them." So they just sat there and watched the door all day. They didn't see anyone, they just sat there and watched the door. It just goes to show that support for the royal family isn't just about political ideology and traditional values. It's just about, you know, fandom, pure fandom for this family. The classic, you know, waiting outside the stage door kind of fandom.
I'm sitting in this chair and I'm not moving. I wanted to go to the toilet and this is where I'll be.
I think the whole pageantry, that whole event, it's absolutely wonderful. The atmosphere here is already building. It's absolutely a wonderful place to be.
Like any other parasocial relationship with a family, we are obsessed with the family gossip. People spent like a month on the Kate Middleton conspiracy train, only for it all to turn out that she'd been diagnosed with cancer, and there was in fact a reason she wanted space away from social media. And then of course everyone online felt really bad afterwards. If you disappear for a month or two, it's not because you just want to be offline. No, it's a conspiracy. It's a manhunt. It's a divorce. It's a family drama.
Her Royal Highness Kate Middleton has been declared missing by her fans, and the conspiracy is that she may be in a coma.
Honestly, the Crown made this whole royal family conspiracy stuff so much worse. After Gen Z found out about Charles and Diana, you know, it just hasn't been the same.
A lot of people don't trust the palace because of Princess Diana and the treatment that she endured.
Side note, the Crown's last season was actually shit. Like, it was shit. They had Diana's forced ghost, you know, comfort the Queen. I mean, what the hell? What is this? What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? This isn't even in the script. I'm just getting this off my chest. You see, Gen Z and the royal family, I mean, they don't really go well together. Just doing this. Gen Z and the royal family, what are we doing? You know, Gen Z and the royal family, you know, we don't really go together well, you know. We get all our information from the Crown, and when the Queen died, we just, you know, we made memes about her being reincarnated as Trisha Paytas's baby. The whole Kate Middleton like disappearance thing was very embarrassing for a lot of chronically online people.
She may be in a coma.
It shows that the way that the royal family deal with things is at odds with the way the internet is designed nowadays. The royal family's attitude of, you know, complete impartial, you know, total silence, and the internet's need to know everything.
You know, that's what's really bothering me about this entire thing, is that they just keep lying and lying and lying, and they're making Kate take the fall. Meanwhile, tons of news publications are running stories claiming that people like me who are questioning these photos are bullying Kate. Bullying how?
And it's not just, you know, Gen Z TikTok teens. The boomers are the same, if not more malicious and conspiratorial towards the royal family. Hell, the entire British tabloid press is just built on gossip surrounding the royal family. There's a whole tab on the Daily Mail website devoted to Meghan Markle. They love that royal family gossip.
All the royal news as it happens online.
The parasocial relationship that we have with the royal family is a double-edged sword. The monarchy uses its public support to justify its expenses, but then the public feel entitled to rip apart the social lives of the royal family because we deserve to know where Kate is. Where is she? I want to know where Kate is now. okay? My taxes are paying for this family. You know, in The Crown, there are occasionally scenes where we see the Queen enthralled by the newspapers with stories about her. We see a lot of the main tensions in the episode, you know, being that the Queen, she wants the public to like her. And well, as much as I wish, you know, the Queen actually cared about our opinions of her, she obviously didn't care. She's a cold, stone-faced Sigma with no fucks to give. And well, since the Queen died, you know, it all feels like a bit like an excess. Do we really need to be doing this much for this guy right now?
God save the King!
God save the King!
A lot of people's attentions have been pulled to the absolute nepotism of it all. The Queen was there the whole time when I was younger. What makes you think he can step up to the throne? Charles. And when Charles dies, you know, is it just going to keep going on forever? Is the monarchy just going to keep going on forever just based on nepotism? Part 3. Not my king. Here in the UK, the economy, it's not looking too good. Cuts to social services and a rise in inflation have caused what a lot of people are calling now a cost of living crisis. Basically, a return to the Victorian era. Destitution. A lot of people in this country are in cost-cutting mode. Every penny counts. I'm spending this much on rent. Okay, I'm spending this much on food. Maybe if I turn the heating off, I won't have to spend so much money on that. And with so many people going through that, it starts to make sense why a lot of people are waking up to the fact that the royal family probably aren't worth the money. Because, well, if I'm paying taxes to support the royal family, what do the royal family give me? I mean, I'm sat here eating baked beans every night. What are the royal family giving me back?
On the struggle to heat our homes, we have to pay for your parade.
Thank you for coming.
The taxpayer pays 100 million for you.
This is where the parasocial relationship starts to kind of slip, because you realise that this family are just living off of government handouts. They've hit the free money hack. This kind of cynicism that I have towards the royal family right now is usually met with the, you know, the usual conservative rumblings like,
in my opinion, the royal family are worth every penny. We all love a bit of pomp and pageantry.
One of the main arguments that a lot of people have in favour of the royal family is that they bring in so much money from tourism, and that tourists love, you know, the pomp and pageantry. I'm sick and tired of the term pomp and pageantry. I hear it all the time.
The pomp and pageantry. The pageantry. The pomp. Pomp. Pageantry.
Pomp and pageantry.
Pomp and pageantry. Pomp and all the pageantry.
Pomp and pageantry.
Pomp, pageantry.
Yeah. Pomp, pageantry.
Pomp, pageantry, and pride in our nation.
The royal family members aren't the ones bringing in the tourism. You know who are? The buildings. The buildings bring the tourism. Because when people visit, it doesn't matter if Princess Anne is like inside or not. They don't care. They want to see the building. They want to see the architecture. If there's one thing about Americans, you know, they love Buckingham Palace.
Excuse me, is this Buckingham Palace?
Excuse me, do you know if this is Buckingham Palace?
Yes, it's good.
It is? Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't know. Sorry. Thank you. Ooh, pretty.
It would make no difference to tourism if the royals didn't exist. The palaces and the castles would still be there, and people would still visit. Even the royal superfans that I saw when I went to Windsor weren't looking for royal family members. They were sat looking at a door. You know what other palace brings in a lot of tourism for a whole country? Versailles. Versailles makes a lot of money in tourism every year. And there hasn't been a monarchy in France, you know, ever since, well, you know. Now, I'm not saying that we should cut Camilla's head off with a guillotine, you know, Marie Antoinette style. I just want to be clear, that is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, you know, claiming the royal family deserve their riches because, you know, they bring in tourism is... well, it's just dumb. You're dumb. That's a stupid thing to say. That's really dumb. I was born here and I've never seen a royal family member in person. I mean, they might as well not be real. That being said, I have seen former Prime Minister Liz Truss in person once. You know, she walked past me and I absolutely freaked out. Crazy, the closest thing I've seen to the royal family is literally Liz Truss. Liz Truss, Prime Minister for 1 month. On all fronts, socially and economically, the monarchy are in their flop era. And if you look at a show like The Crown, the whole message of the show is it's actually really bad being a royal family member because it's horrible. You're born into just, you know, being inhuman and the system doesn't work. That's the whole, that is the message of the show. And I think that the country and, you know, no, the world would be better off without this family as the elite. Hashtag not my king. There we go. Okay, that was a lot of yapping on my part. I apologise for that. But I think I've said my piece. I don't think I have anything else to say. Yeah, there we go. Video done. I didn't say anything about Prince Andrew. I'm not doing that. Oh my god. Bye.
Pizza Express in Woking for a party of sort of 4,000 years.
Why would you remember that so specifically? Why would you remember the Pizza Express birthday?
Going to Pizza Express in Woking is an unusual thing for me to do. I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat. Well, I didn't sweat at the time. I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in Falklands War when I was shot up. And I simply, it was almost impossible for me to sweat.